Hey, Carol, how are you?
Yo, I have myself on mute.
Call
I'm
it.
sorry. Hi, how are you? It's okay. How have you been?
I've been, my goodness, yeah, I was hoping to do a presentation, but I have not had the time. I've been in back to back, and I'll be in back to back after this. But still, bye. I was just wondering what the agenda looks like.
Right. So basically, we were going to talk about, well, we're going to open up with an introduction, of course, and then introduce you guys, and then you introduce yourselves, what each organization does. And then we're going to give a bit of background on why the Launchpad and Marifa Hub are doing this webinar series, drawing on the work that we've been doing in the cultural economy, or trying to create a cultural economy rather. And then we are going to speak a bit about business continuity and versatility. And then we will welcome Ayeta, who looks like she has a full packed presentation. And then we would love for you to speak about the innovation side of it. So how can they innovate, and what does innovation have to do with resilience right now and continuity for creatives, and what could that look like? Because unfortunately, our young people are very much in limbo when we speak of innovation. Most of them think it's all about, technology based, so technological innovations. But perhaps if we encourage them to innovate more and explain what that could look like, so it would help them or help steer them in the right direction. Am I making sense?
Yeah, but I just wish I was prepared for that conversation, because that's a heavy one, right?
What are
And
you prepared
there's a
for?
lot. I mean, I wasn't necessarily sure where you wanted to go with it, because there's a lot, right? And we've been doing quite a lot of research within the space. Right now, I'm not necessarily even sure that the sector is ready for like a full innovative. I mean, there's a lot of background work that needs to be done, and just in terms of process innovation that needs to happen in this time.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot there in terms of just building the framework that would capacitate innovation. Things like, just collaborations like this, things like, just making sure that strengthening different networks within the sector, being able to speak the same language and what that would look like, being informed. There are a lot of things that might seem quite cliche, but they're actually the foundational, fundamental issues that are propelling, hindering us from moving forward.
Okay, how about you said, and I did see, I think, I don't remember if it was on Twitter or LinkedIn, but you have been having some talks on, is it the impact of COVID-19 on creatives? Have you?
Yeah, so one of the biggest
Yeah.
needs for us is research in the space. Yeah, so yeah, we've been having
Okay, so can you share any baseline finding had so far with them, to see if they resonate with the participants, and then take it from there? Because basically what we're looking for right now is speaking about the challenges. So you as an expert in the field, what are you hearing from the creatives? What are the challenges that they're going through, and what are their needs, and how are you suggesting that we navigate through that? So something brief, but something comprehensive in terms of addressing the agenda, which is basically Sekta, Ubunifu na Changamoto. Because when you talk about the Changamotos, at least we need to give them a direction. Okay, so these are the challenges, but perhaps these are the opportunities that you guys could actually explore.
I'm fairly sorry, I'm speaking over you. I'm just looking at time. I'm fairly
That's fine. Ayeta just joined in.
Yeah, hello,
Hello.
Ayeta.
Hi, how are you ladies?
We're good. We're just going over basically what, oh, okay, I'm trying, what is happening with my screen? I don't know what's happening with my screen. Anyways, yeah, karibu.
Asante sana. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, so
Halila. Yeah.
yeah, no problem. So I was saying fair, like, so I would rather refocus on the what next, right? Because yeah, that's so the
Yeah.
challenges is one thing, so great, woo-ha. But so once we have all lamented, moving on, so
Right.
what do the next steps look like, right?
Yeah.
Given the fact that most of the issues that we're talking about are not necessarily issues that were not here, they were just highlighted with COVID. And what COVID did is it just did an X-ray of the sector and left it bare for everybody to see. So just what
Right.
next. I'd probably I'd sana focus there. And of course, just given the fact that, just the points that I'll give will be, we'll have a Tanzanian dimension, but they'll also be very Pan-African focused, given the fact that most of the people within our conversations did come from various countries. So there was Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, South Africa, Nigeria, Congo, Tanzanians in diaspora. So it covered quite a few countries, but what we found was most of our issues and our what next were fairly the same. I mean,
Yeah. No, I love that. And I love the fact that it has an East African or rather regional approach. And I understand that Ayata, you're also sort of like regional as well, like your outreach as well. And I think that's it's quite crucial for our young people to actually hear about how they can, be connected or integrated into the East African market. So how do they rise or how do they get included in the cultural economy, but in the regional sense, So this, the findings or the learnings that you have from Kenya and Uganda might actually help, because I also feel like as much as Tanzania perhaps is probably leading in terms of creatives right now, and especially when you look at the music industry and whatnot, there is still lack of professional branding in terms of actually using creativity as an avenue for creation for employment and jobs. So someone being formal. Okay, see some participants have already started coming in.
Yes, so my approach, I was just going to focus on the work that we have done, the research that we have done, and show what the gaps, what we feel the gaps are within the creative value chain, and then also propose what needs to be done within the sector, and maybe with the support from outside. From my point of view, having seen what's going on in the development world and all this, basically my view is we need to have a more
is any of you going to touch on any of you? Oh, sorry, did I cut you off? I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't hear that. So a lot of our creatives, the ones that we work with, have been asking on how now to enterprise, right? So, for example, during COVID-19, most of them have found themselves that not all of them had access to platforms like YouTube, so to get the earnings from online, all these music platforms. So we will address like what exactly are the alternatives, if it's on the same artistry or creative path, what are the alternatives in terms of revenue, income generation, and
Carol, you're breaking up
for them after COVID. Oh, okay. Where did you lose me?
Oh, I can still hear you properly. I'm just wondering if you.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Uh-oh.
Can hear you, Carol.
No, you can hear me now?
Yes.
No, the sound is okay. It's just that you're breaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was saying, I hope one of you is going to touch on touch on the alternative revenue streams, you know, as creative during COVID-19 and possibly post-COVID-19. So for example, there was a question that was forwarded by, I think they must be a musician or a promoter, but they're like live music shows are not likely going to be happening anytime soon. And even if they will, they won't have the same sort of like lineup that they used to have. So, and 50% of the global music earnings come from live shows. So what are we telling them? What are the, you know, what is the alternative, you know, for people like that who used to get 50%, probably 70 or 80% in terms of Tanzania, you know, earnings from live musical shows or live exhibitions.
Yeah, what does diversification look like? Diversify.
Okay, so I'm going to start letting people in now, but in the meantime, I think we can both stop. Yeah, well, Ayeta and myself, we can stop the video. Ayeta, what I'll do is I am, yeah, I have allowed participants to share screen, so you can do that moja kwa moja when you're ready. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll have something to say about fashion and accessories design. We have a platform we are working on. Lovely. So at least, yeah, there's a solution where we have for that. Fashion, interior and exterior design. Yeah. So that I can talk about for music.
Okay. So all right, so we'll give it like what no, so I was saying let's take a break now as we wait for people to come in. And then we can continue from I'm going to allow people in now because we're having this conversation. So
would you like us to have our videos on and off?
I've noticed that if you want people to actually listen and stay engaged, you want to look at faces, you know.
Right.
Yeah, they want to look at the face. So yeah, it's entirely up to you. Allow me to introduce you to my co-founder, Mr. Henry Kolaya. Sir Henry, say hello.
Hi everyone. Right, let me get this right. It is good evening there, right? Okay, good evening everyone. And I know you've had your preliminaries. I had a slight glitch as I was trying to log in, and I'm sorry, I should be here 5 minutes before. I'm here bang on at 6. So I know Caro has, you know, you've had the conversation, invited you in. I'm very much briefed about your, what should I use? Your pedigree and your, your sort of your experience and expertise in this area. So we look forward to having an input and learning from you. We're all going to be here doing our lifelong learning and listening to you present and field those questions, and we'll be playing the supporting role. So pleased to meet you, meet you, virtually meet you, and I look forward to a brilliant session, which I'm sure you'll facilitate. So yeah, great.
Thank you, and nice to meet you, Sir Henry.
Don't worry too much about it. You can lose that. Henry will do. Caro is just having me on with that one. Yeah, but yeah, I appreciate you. Is it Ayeta? Am I saying that right?
Yes, Ayeta.
Okay. And is that Khalila or Khalila?
Khalila. The H is not silent.
It's not silent. It's there. So Khalila. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. Pleased to meet you, Khalila, as well.
Pleased to meet you too, Henry.
Thank you. Caro, are we good in terms of the setup, the order in which we are presenting? You've got all that in line, right? Or are we winging this?
We're winging it.
Oh. Okay, good. It's wingable, for lack of a better word. So as long as Kalila and Ayeta are all right with that, in terms of we'll do all the usual intro, the launchpad way, we'll set the tone, and then we'll go from there. Because it's creatives, we're gonna be creative as we go along. I think that makes it even more interesting. If we over plan it tends to be a bit too formal and a bit too contrived. And creatives don't work like that. So
today's connect.
Yeah, it's weak, isn't it? You're one. Yeah, I've noticed that as well. So hopefully it holds.
Gets better.
Yeah. Okay, so in terms of participants,
so I'm going to switch off my video now.
Yeah, maybe that might help. So you haven't got many yet. So Caro, I think we need to prepare for a delayed start. So we'll try and be creative as we welcome people in, and we'll take it as we go. But let's aim for sort of let's keep ourselves checking and touching base in 5-minute increments as we build towards quarter past, and then do a temperature check at that point and make a decision. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Superb. Thank you.
I'm just gonna rush to wash my hands and be right back.
Let me also wash my hands.
Right. Okay.
I think that's a very creative virtual meeting, social distancing, COVID guideline to wash hands before a virtual meeting. It's very, very original. I've not seen that before, but you know, it goes to show how much fun we're gonna have in this session today. I just thought I'll I'll share that.
Yeah, this is quite interesting.
And on that note, I am just going to wash my hands as well. So give me 20
so let's
seconds.
all go wash our hands
Yeah,
now.
let's do a bit of hand washing here as we collect people. It is creative, isn't it? And we have to keep to that spirit. And yeah, I think it's apt.
Just a heads up, this session is actually being recorded. So we record it and then we share it in our social media platforms, but also on our e-learning platform for people to catch up for those who couldn't attend the webinar. So it's just a heads up. We are being recorded. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Carol. And also, just to add to that, it also, because it is recorded, it gives us an opportunity to engage as if we've got 500 people or 700, because ultimately that's the reach. It will go out to as many as that. So I'm conscious that there is always the issue of timekeeping. As such, it means it will get to a point where we have to get going, irrespective of how many people we have. And we will proceed as if we've had a full house. So that's just heads up for the speakers. So don't hold back because you've only got X amount. Just keep going as if you've got plenty. Thank you. And that's touch base one. Make it 10, 30, well, not far from quarter past. So we'll check in again at quarter past in 3 minutes and see where we are.
Okay.
I try not to get caught up, but I fall so deep in love. Baby, you're my angel and the danger of my life. Still, I know where I'll be sleeping tonight. Love, 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 love is a beautiful factor. It's a beautiful factor. Love, 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 love.
Caro, I think we should be in a position now to make a start, if it's okay with you.
Let us do that. I just have one request. As we continue, when so Halila and Ayeta, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to repeat the questions at the end of the when you with your remarks. I will just be shooting questions that have been forwarded to us for you to respond. And when you do, can I just ask that you turn on your video, because we would like to use this as well on our social media platforms, and of course we'll share the videos with you as well. But just so we have a face when you're talking, yeah?
Okay.
Absolutely, sure.
So we are not going video, we keep it audio.
No, wait, you can do video. I'm doing, see, I'm here. You can definitely do video. I'm just saying, for if you're not doing the video right now, when I am going to be asking the questions, can you please do the video so that we can use the visuals, you know, for our social media platform.
Okay.
Okay, Henry, over to you.
Okay, so we're gonna do a dynamic duo thing here, Caro, where we will be ping-ponging between me and you, and we'll get the questions in and we'll kind of facilitate and really try and extract as much as we can out of our two experts who we're blessed with today. So I think let's start from the top. Caro, if we can get into some introductions, you know, just to introduce a bit of the theme, where the theme is coming from, and the fact that it is a series of webinars. And then once we get from that, we can move straight into the two facilitators or speakers to introduce themselves, a bit of their background, and then we'll shoot straight into the questions. So over to you. Ping pong. There we go. We're winging. We're creative. So what's this all about? Why creative? You know, the culture capital, etc., etc. Your mic is on mute. Sorry, unmute. We can't hear you.
I see what you did there. You're normally doing the hosting. I'm just on the. Anyways, hi, hello, Karibuni. This is the second of our webinar series that we've been having as the Launchpad in Marifa Hub. Since COVID-19 has hit us. And this is coming from the survey that we did amongst entrepreneurs and SMEs, as well as startups, trying to assess the impact, the economic impact of COVID-19 on these organizations, these enterprises rather. So creatives is one of the fields that we've been dealing with. We had a Global Entrepreneurship Week last year, where we also focused on cultural economy. And ever since, we've been trying to support creatives with enterprise development, but as well as professional development, because most of them have not really had opportunities or platforms rather to really formalize their creativity. So we've been trying to support them with that. And it came to light during the survey that this is one of the groups that we really need to focus on as we try to come up with different responses and interventions for COVID-19 recovery plans. So we thought that we should first try to do a stakeholder mapping on who's doing what, you know, in the field, and try to see if we can collaborate and do a webinar on just to discuss on where exactly we are, you know, as the creatives, the challenges that they've been facing. I understand that Unleashed Academy has done a survey. I know that Ayeta through CDA have also done something around that as well, but it will be interesting to hear from you who are actually practicing, you know, on the ground and have been engaging with this youth in this sector on how they've been navigating through this time, and what are their needs, and basically what are the recommendations that you guys are telling us, like what is the direction that we can possibly take. And of course, this ties in or aligns with the Launchpad's bigger vision, which is human capital development. We focus in skills development, lifelong learning, but basically youth and women development programs, propelling them towards sustainable development, as well as economic growth and decent work. So I will now welcome Ayeta. I can't believe I'm looking at the screen like I'm actually seeing you. But I'll now welcome Ayeta to introduce yourself, talk about your organization a bit, and then go over to Halila. And then we'll switch back to Ayeta and you will begin with your presentation or remarks. Karibu sana.
Asante sana. Naongea kwa Kiingereza au Kiswahili?
Nimejikuta kwamba nimejisahau nimeongea Kiingereza, lakini nafikiri kwamba tunaweza tukachanganya. Kwa hiyo sio tatizo. Tunaweza tukachanganya.
Okay. Sawa. So naitwa Ayeta Anwangusa. Mimi ni mkurugenzi wa SIDEA. SIDEA ni Culture and Development East Africa, au shirika la ya utamaduni na maendeleo Afrika Mashariki. Tuko hapa Mikocheni B. Tumekaa hapa kama miaka 18 kutoka 2011, na tunafanya kazi. Kuna programs mbili, moja inaitwa Culture and Governance, ingine inaitwa Documentary and Future. So tunafanya kwenye ile program ya kwanza, tunafanya kazi za utafiti na utetezi wa sera, na hii ya pili tuna watu tunaitwa atamishi ya ubunifu. Sijui kama ni Kiswahili sanifu, lakini ndio tunaitwa Creative Incubator. So tuko hapa na yes, kazi zetu sana ni za research, but also kusaidia wasanii in our Creative Economy Incubator. Of course, on my other world na kazi zingine ambazo nafanya upande wa UNESCO. Mimi ni mtaalam wa cultural policy, so nasaidia nchi mbalimbali kuwasaidia report on the work they are doing. Na kazi ingine upande wa serikali na mshauri rais wa Mali, ambaye ni balozi wa Arts, Culture and Heritage wa African Union. So niko kwenye kamati ya ushauri. Asanteni sana kwa kusikiliza. So sijui kama niendelee na presentation au Halila tambulisha.
To warm it up first, Halila.
All right. Hello, everybody. Nina furaha kusema kweli kuwa hapa. I am grateful for this conversation that we're having today. And I'm also very much excited for the fact that it's Launchpad, the Launchpad that is actually holding this conversation. That just showcases that there are a lot more people getting engaged in dialogues or getting engaged in interventions around the creative economy. And that just highlights the fact that, you know, we're getting to a point where more people are seeing value in the space. So I just want to give a big shout out to the Launchpad and what you're doing. Kudos to you all. So who am I? My name is Khalila Mboy. People call me Kels, and I'm the founder and CEO of Unleashed Africa Social Ventures, which is a group of social enterprises. Under Unleashed Africa is Unleashed Academy for the creative arts and leadership. And at Unleashed Academy, we focus primarily on research, youth development, and social innovation within the art space. And our mandate is to really build value within the creative economy and the creative and cultural sector, because we do believe that this is one of the most untapped sectors in Africa, and our focus is Africa, looking at, you know, just looking at it as a marginalized talent, marginalized talent group that is not necessarily being given the weight that it needs to be given. So we do a lot of questioning around what are the things that we could do to actually tip the scale or move the needle towards it actually generating the number of jobs that we know it can generate, rather than just kupiga story na kusema, oh, the art sector could do 1, 2, 3, could do, shoulda, coulda, woulda, but we're looking at what could we literally do to move the needle. So we have a threefold objective, and we look at empowering, exposing to opportunities, and educating artistic youth. We look at catalyzing a well-rounded societal acceptance and engagement in the arts, because you might capacitate artists as much as you want, but as long as our society is not necessarily propelled to a level where they can see the value and basically understand how that integrates with their needs, it's not necessarily, you're not attacking the problem from all ends. And we're also looking at triggering more state participation and investment in the art space. We have various initiatives, various innovations within the space. However, in a nutshell, our work in Unleashed Academy around the art space is research, social innovation, youth development. Yeah, I will end there for now, and I will go more into it when I am giving my intervention.
Brilliant. Henry, anything? Before I welcome Ayeta to begin her presentation, please.
Yeah, again, you know, thank you, Carol, for that intro there. It was very well planned, very well scripted, and you executed it very well. Not that I landed you on it without you knowing, but you held that very well. For Ayeta and Khalila, thank you for your introduction. Thank you for the appreciation of what Launchpad is doing. We try to throw in our 50 cents whenever we can. It's never been easy, but if there are appreciation as such, you know, from young people as yourselves, you know, trying to open up these lanes, it is well appreciated. I think in terms of qualifying yourself for what we want to achieve here in the next hour or so, it goes without saying that you're fully qualified. You know, for our guests and participants, I'm sure they'll echo that. I think we want to make.
Lugha.
Okay. Asante kwa kunikumbusha pia kuhusu masuala ya lugha. Sasa mi naona Karo, kwa sababu tuna literally 1 hour, kama stick to an hour and a half as we planned. Kwa hiyo tuanze tu na presentation, alafu labda tujaribu kuwa very creative kwamba hizi presentation tuzifanye in a way that's fluid, tusiwe extremely formal, lakini tuhakikishe kwamba ni zile pointers and always being outcome driven, kwamba okay, here are the issues, here's what we're doing about it, and here's the impact, and here's what we need more. If we move in that formation, hii recording yote itakuwa ina uwezo wa kumpa mtu kila kitu, kwamba maswali, majibu, challenges au changamoto na namna ya kuepuka zile changamoto. Iwe formation ya namna hiyo. Over to you, Carol. Let's start.
Okay, naomba tu kuwakumbusha wengine kama mna maswali, kuna chat box hapo. Kwa tunaweza tukauliza maswali hapo kwa wakati tunaendelea. Wenzetu wakaona maswali, watu wa mada wakarespond wakati wanaendelea kufanya presentation zao. Lakini otherwise, yeah, Ayeta, take it away. Karibu sana.
Asante. Naomba uni enable my screen. inasema hosts disabled participant screen.
Oh, hold on. Samahani. Okay, there we go. Is that working now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to look for. I thought my screen was open. Let me look for my. Looks like I have too many things open. This is English. Where is my Swahili? Trying to put it on, but it's showing. How can I do it? Because I don't want the English version. Imeanda presentation yangu vizuri kwa kweli. I can see the maybe I let me do something. I close one, and then I bring up the Swahili one. Yeah. Sorry about that. I thought I was all set. It doesn't want to close. Because you're sharing this one. Can you help me so that I can choose another screen?
What do you want me to share?
I want to share my Swahili screen, lakini naona ya Kiingereza.
Nafikiri haina neno, unaweza tu ukatumia hata hiyo.
Okay, sawa. I had prepared my thing. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Creative sector. Is it showing?
No.
Niko kwenye meeting niambie. Niko na meeting niambie.
What is happening? Naomba nirudi hapa. There's a technical problem. I can't get my screen.
Okay.
Can Halila take?
Yeah, Halila, why don't you take over as I try to sort her out? Maybe she can send it to me and I can share it from my end.
Yeah, I was actually wondering if she could, considering Ayeta, you're already getting ready to start sharing. Maybe you could start taking us through it while you send it to Carol. So she could still share it and then you could project it. I mean, well, you could share the screen while she starts going into it.
Yeah, just send it to me via email.
The Swahili one.
The Swahili one, yes.
The thing is, I can't even get to my email. It's like something is frozen. I don't know. Because the screen is already being shared. Yeah.
Oh,
if you could stop sharing it, then I can get to the other screen.
Maybe you could try to leave the Zoom room and then come back and try again. Something might be frozen.
Hey.
All right, Carol, were you suggesting that I go first?
Yeah, if you could just get us started.
Sure.
That would be great.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I had to hold it in mind.
So,
I know. Freeze. I love to. I can't even get out. Can you? Am I? Is my screen still on?
We can't see your screen.
Okay, just go on and then I'll sort myself out.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Hiya. So everyone, I will mix both English and Swahili. And I myself, I'm an artist, so nitatumia mikono sana, nitakuwa na move around sana, so yeah, tuelewane tu. Kama nilivyojitambulisha, I work at Unleashed Africa, niko hapa kama director wa Unleashed Academy. Kitu ambacho sikusema ni kwamba mimi mwenyewe I'm an artist, I've been a choreographer in the sector, I do music, I do poetry, so I'm basically a performer. I've worked with different people within the sector. Na being in this space kwa miaka kadhaa as both an enabler, pamoja na an artist myself, kuna vitu kadha wa kadha ambavyo nimeweza kuwa exposed to, ambavyo you will see kwamba they're very foundational in how I approach the sector. So kwa kuangalia mada ya leo, so mada ya leo ni sana tunajiuliza, you know, the impact of COVID-19 on the creative and cultural economy. Kiukweli COVID-19 sidhani kama, I don't think it has had a very big effect on the economy. However, it has had, what it has done has been to expose different issues that have been existing within the economy all along. Changamoto ambazo zimejitokeza COVID-19 ilivyoingia, sio changamoto mpya. Ni changamoto ambazo tumekuwa tukiziona rampant within the sector for many years, lakini COVID-19 imekuwa kama x-ray. Kama umeingia kwenye ile CT scan machine, alafu imekuonyesha kila kitu, vile vilivyokuwa vinafichwa na vile ambavyo vilikuwa havijafichwa. So tumekuja kuviona, so it gave us just a little bit more perspective on the things that needed to be worked on. And also what it did, imeamsha watu ambao walikuwa labda hawajaitilia maanani hii sector, imewaamsha kuangalia na kufahamu kwamba, oh my goodness, we have a sector that was actually employing so many people. Now, hii ni sehemu ambayo inabidi tuiangalie pia. So in one sense, I am actually grateful for the pandemic, even though imeleta tragedy nyingi. I'm grateful for it because imeamsha watu. And I think for many revolutions to happen, for shifts to happen, sometimes something, you know, a crisis needs to happen for people to actually see something that they need to focus on. So imefungua watu macho. Now going into some of the things that, you know, Unleashed Academy tulifanya moja kwa moja the moment the pandemic ilivyojitokeza, we wanted to see, you know, what were the issues that, you know, COVID really highlighted within the sector. So vitu tulivyofanya, tulifanya artist dialogues, tulifanya artist dialogues tisa. So tuliongea na dancers, tuliongea na musicians, tuliongea na thespians. Thespians ni watu within the film, drama, theater space. Tuliongea na digital artists, tuliongea na people within the visual art space, within the applied art space. So kuna different sectors, because as we are all aware, sector, yani sanaa in a classification ndefu sana, kubwa sana. So hatukutaka kufanya mazungumzo na wasanii kwenye hizo classifications zote kwa pamoja. Tulianza kwa kuwavunja kwanza kwenye vikundi na kuelewa the specific problems ambazo zimejitokeza within each art group. And tulizungumza na wasanii ndani ya Tanzania, nje ya Tanzania, na kiukweli hayo mazungumzo yaliweza kutufahamisha vitu vingi sana. But one of the things that I'm very grateful for is tulikuwa na mazungumzo ambayo yaliwezesha wasanii sana sana, instead of complaining or bringing up the challenges, walijikita, or the conversations ilijikita sana sana kuangalia what next. Ndio tunafahamu wengi wetu tukikaa tukiongelea changamoto within the sector, tunafahamu kuna ubao mkubwa kiukweli, watu wengi wanafahamika, Instagram likes nyingi sana, lakini tunafahamu kabisa kwamba watu wanalala njaa, walala hoi kwenye hii tasnia wengi. Tunafahamu kwamba we have a big, you know, tuna changamoto ya lack of, you know, business acumen within the sector na kadhalika. So kitu ambacho ningependa kupitia sana sana ni some of the solutions, or sana sana some of the ideas that wasanii wali come up with. And one of the things that I was very grateful for from the conversations of tulikuwa nazo, we got to a point that artists were very interested to collaborate across regions to make some of these, you know, to lead some of these initiatives. And why I say I'm grateful for that is because kwa kipindi kirefu sana wasanii tumejulikana kama walalamikaji, kwamba tumekaa kwenye background tunalalamika serikali hawatufanyii, hawa hawatuelewi na kadhalika, lakini hatujakuwa kipaumbele kwenye kuongoza or to be the leaders of the interventions that we want to see happen. So one of the things I was very grateful for is we had a group of young artists who are saying, okay, we need to do 1, 2, 3. We're not going to complain anymore. We want to really place ourselves in a space where now we are ready to be capacitated. Tunataka kushikana mkono as much as wengine wanatushika mkono, but we want to lead these initiatives. Yeah, and at any one point, do I just kind of ramble on, or Carol? I'm not sure what the format is. I want to be very cognizant of time.
No, please continue. Your flow is so good. Like, I was actually so engrossed in whatever that you were saying.
All right. So, vijana ambao wamekuja wakisema kwamba we want to be the lead in this. As I'm progressing as a young change agent, as a young artist, as a young entrepreneur, as a young leader in various sectors, one of my calls to artists, especially kwenye hii mikutano, ilikuwa ni kwamba, guys, time for complaining is over, time for pointing fingers is over, time for blaming is over. We are done. We are done. We cannot be in a space where we are moving into, this is 2020. We cannot get to 2025 and still be complaining about the same things they were complaining about in 2000. Kiukweli tuweke full stop, tuweke exclamation mark, tuweke cut. We are not going to do that anymore. We are fed up. So what are we doing moving forward? So it was more on what are the things that we're going to do to make it shift. And then also just kuvaa ile helmet ya a leader. Kwamba one of the things that arts gives us, sanaa is one of the most unique forms of expression on the planet. There are no sectors that have people that can think like artists. I normally say people within various sectors, they see things in black and white. An artist, we see things in color. 1 minute it's purple, it's pink, it's blue, it's green, it's maroon, it's beige, it's nude, and so on and so forth at the very same time. And what that gives you is an avenue to be able to communicate for change in ways that other people could not, right? Somebody can make a speech for an hour, lakini if you come up and put that in form of probably put some poetry within it, you'd find that people would recall a little bit better. I mean, that's why people like Barack Obama, his speeches, he actually had somebody who wrote jokes and as well as turned his speeches into poems even before he was on a podium. But that's a side note. But what I'm trying to say is it's important for artists to realize the powerful gift that they have and to be able to realize that they are leaders. The moment that you have this gift, it puts you in an avenue that you have the potential to lead change in ways that other people could not. So one of the things that I normally say is, ukimuuliza mtu unafanya kazi gani, anakuambia mimi ni dancer too, mimi ni musician too. I'm like, why too? Why do you put the word just there? We need to change the mindset around how we look at this gift that we have and not look at it as just that other thing that has to be considered, but look at it as the powerful form of just the powerful form of just talent and the gift that it is to the continent. And just realize
okay.
Yeah.
This is to just to give you something to just, more to go on what you have right now. I love that you have mentioned, art is a gift, being creative is a gift. But I'm loving the fact that you're also going towards a direction that, just it being a gift is not enough.
Right.
And therefore, there are two questions that have come up. One, the creativity that should be nurtured or supported. What does our immediate environment have to do with that? And how can we have more parents support that and even tell us off when we say mimi nataka kuwa dancer too, hata mzazi wako awe na kuwa proud kusema kwamba mwanangu pia ni msanii, kwa sababu stigma not stigma per se, lakini kudharaulika labda kwa sekta ya ubunifu na inaanza katika jamii yetu sisi wenyewe. Ingawa wengine ambao wameweza yani kupeleka zaidi ya kuwa tu kipaji, yani hiyo gift hiyo wameweza kuonyesha mambo sana. Sasa how do we shift that? Because that's also the reason why, kwa mfano mtu akitoa nyimbo yake hajaenda Kosota, hajaenda Basata, hajaenda anaenda kusajili labda kujisajili hata jina lake yeye mwenyewe Brela, jina la biashara kama you know what I'm saying, because we think kwamba it's just because it's a gift kwa hiyo tunaenda nayo gift tu.
You know, like Carol, because the thing is everything is a gift. The fact kwa mtu ambaye ana prowess ya kufanya finance, the person who is, you know, just gifted in, you know, innovation, gifted in engineering, those are all gifts. The biggest issue right now that we have is these particular gifts are not valued in the form that they should be. And you know, historically, the reasons for that are very much embedded in colonialism. They're very much embedded in the mindset shift that needed to happen at that time for us to be subdued as a culture. I mean, if you look back historically, and for people who are interested in theory, who are interested in arts theory and so on and so forth, and you go back, and Ayeta, I wonder if, you know, you'd want to say something to it. The art forms, the creative space is basically what held up our communities pre-colonialism. Art was one of the most respected forms of expression within our cultures. However, it begs the question, what happened? How are we in this space where it's one of the most undervalued spaces right now? Because post-colonialism, people are not interested in, I am going to write a story, I'm going to tell your narrative. People are interested in blue collar and white collar. So there was a transition that happened there. So right now to say, okay, so what are the things that need to be done for a parent to find pride in my child wanting to get into the art space? There's a lot of foundational work that needs to be done. So now we're moving into mindset, we're moving into value, right? And okay, so the solutions here are not isolated. There are a lot of things that have to happen together. So there are a lot of pillars that have to work together. So as we're working on, okay, so this is what the artist needs to do, but there also have to be things, we need to think about we need to think about the systemic shifts that need to happen in society. What are the ways we need to do? What are the things that we need to do to get society to actually value this as integral part on who I am? Because one of the things that I have to mention, sasa hivi, kiukweli, tukiangalia sanaa, tukiangalia sectors ambazo zinaonekana kama, hata kwa Mtanzania wa kawaida, ukiangalia sanaa, Mtanzania kawaida anaweza kuwa na consume art kila siku. Lakini if you talk about a sector that they feel is important for them, art is not necessarily it's not going to cut it. I have very crucial issues to think about. We have issues like wash, mambo ya maji, tuna mambo ya umeme, tuna mambo ya infrastructure, tuna mambo ya health, tuna mambo ya ugonjwa. Kwa nini msifikirie sanaa? Sanaa is by the way, it's a luxury, right? And one of the issues that we have right now is people within the art sector itself, we have isolated it ourselves. The art sector is a niche. You only call us when you have a performance to do, when you have something other than Natuita. So one of the, in one way or the other, so this, I'm generalizing, I'm gonna apologize because I'm just gonna generalize because I'm conscious of time as well, is we have isolated ourselves too much. Because in a room or on a table where they're talking about change, they're talking about policy, they're talking about issues that are actually moving the developmental needle, we are not there. We are only there wakishamaliza mazungumzo, tunataka mtu aje kuperform, kutengeneza ngonjera, kuweka shairi, kuchukua what we have written and kupresent, ndo tunaitwa pale. Lakini pale kwenye kutengeneza haya mambo unakuta tunakuwa hatupo. So it's very important to make sure that we stay informed and we be part of the conversation in a big way. So, you know, and then, so nimeongelea kwamba what the artist needs, tumesema what the artist needs to do, what the society needs to do. So we're talking about building value. But then kuna hii sector ambayo, this thing where artists sana we like blaming the government. Tunasema serikali hawatuwezeshi, serikali sera hazituruhusu kukua, and so on and so forth. The thing is, we have to remember is the government will invest in something that they see value in. The government is interested in nini? Wanaangalia hela zinaingia wapi so that they can do the development work that they need to do, and so on and so forth. As a sector, have we really been able to show a government that we are a valuable asset, we are a valuable, what's the word? But investment, right? What are the ways that, you know, if the government is not doing it, but what are the things that we could do to get these people to see, hey, this is something we need to invest in? If you look at the sector, I love the fact that CIDEA has led in creating data for the space. the art sector within Africa is one of the most unresearched sectors on the continent. If you don't have data that tells you where you came from, where you are, and where you're going, how can you measure actual progress? So if, as much as we're creating art, as much as we're having these dialogues, it's important to also, even as artists, look at, how do we create data? Where do we find the statistics that can actually show how watu kwamba kuna hivi vitu ambavyo lazima vitokee? And just really quickly, Labda, I'd like to, I've just gone on a tangent, but I'd like to sana go into the artists and some of the things that we need to be doing to make sure that we're not just, we're not just talking about the sector as a general, we're talking about what we need to be doing individually to move the sector. Because if we're not invested in personal development, the sector will not develop. The sector is only as weak as its weakest links. And if we are all weak and we're not developed as individual performers, as individual artists, the sector is going nowhere. So, things that we've been speaking about, especially in the conversations we've been having, is things like, what does capacity building and skill development look like, right? What are the actual skills that would help, move the needles for artists? What are the things that artists should be thinking about, right? So vitu ambavyo tumeongelea ni things like financial literacy, right? Financial literacy, I do quite a bit of training within this space, and I talk to artists and naulizaga, ukienda kufanya gigi, yeah? Umeshapiga gigi yako, ukapewa labda $500. Hiyo $500 ni yako au ya biashara? Right? Wananiambia hiyo $500 ni yangu. Nikamwambia okay, sawa. Kama hiyo $500 ni yako, umeingiza mfukoni. And then you need, basi kama hiyo $500 ni yako umeingiza mfukoni, basi you're not in business, my friend. It's still a hobby. Because if you're talking about business, then how do you separate you as a person who's the artist and you as an artist who is the business, right? So thinking about, financial management, what are the things that, Carol, I think you're going in and out. I feel like you want to ask a question or intervene. I can see your light,
Hi, Halila, it's me actually. I know you've called Carol, but
okay, then it's both of you.
Yeah, Carol, are you all right for me to?
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay, so Halila, great stuff. Okay, and Carol couldn't have summed it up better. We absolutely engrossed. I love the direction. I love where you've got it to. I want to pause you there because we've got to the bit now around skills and absolutely pivotal financial literacy. Okay, and what you're gonna do with that. Nafikiri hapa, keep forgetting, we need to put this in Swahili. Kwa hiyo hapo ulipo sasa kwenye ujuzi na maarifa na namna ambavyo tunaweza tukaiangalia hii sekta ambayo kwa kweli mpaka sasa hivi kwa Tanzania tuko bado kwenye informal sana. Hatujaiformalize kiasi hicho na tunahitaji kuiformalize kiasi hicho, lakini hiyo ndo direction ambayo tunatakiwa kwenda nayo. Ili kuiweza kuiformalize, tunatakiwa to combine zile natural talent na skills ambazo tunazo, ambazo they are very much innate for the most part. Najua they can be polished and improved, lakini they start off as innate, lakini tuziingize na hizo skills ambazo ziko a bit more corporate. Sasa naomba nimuulize, pause that thought kwa sababu tutakurudia kwenye around saa 1:05 nataka kuanza maswali ambayo yanahusiana na presentation moja kwa moja. Kwa hiyo tutarudi hapo kwenye skills. Nataka nije kwako sasa, Ayeta. Kama bado ile screen bado inasumbua, usijali. Labda utupe tu mtizamo wako kwenye hili swala zima bila hata kutumia screen. Nafikiri itafaa tu kwa sasa hivi, lakini kama inafanya kazi basi unaweza ukaiweka. Naomba nikulete wewe hapo, alafu nikupe mpaka saa 1:05. Kama dakika 10, quick snapshot, alafu tusimame hapo tuanze sasa kuchukua maswali. Karibu.
Okay.
Yeah, lakini usijali sana kuhusu screen. Kama imekataa basi wewe tupe tu mtizamo.
Okay. Yeah,
I professional screen haiwezi kustop.
Okay.
Nimeona screen. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, karibu.
Yeah, asante sana Halila, nimekuelewa, asante kwa kusema SIDA imefanya research. Hapo ndio nilikuwa nimeanza na presentation yangu kuonyesha kwamba it's still sharing. I think I'm just going to. Yeah. So hizi ndio tafiti ambayo SIDA imefanya. Tulianza mwaka 2016 kwa sababu tulikuwa tunataka kuformalize the sector, kwa sababu huwezi kuwa uko kwenye sekta unafanya kazi lakini huna data, hujui changamoto ambazo zilipo, hujui opportunities ambazo zipo kwenye eneo ya digital. So tukafanya hizi tafiti, na kama mnaona kwenye screen tulitoa na policy briefs kama 4 na value chain reports kwenye sekta ya filamu na sekta ya muziki. Na baadaye tukafanya tafiti nyingine ambayo tulikuwa tunaangalia sekta ya filamu na muziki kwa kutazama maeneo 7: kifedha, kitamaduni, soko, maarifa na sera. Na tukagundua vitu kadhaa, kwa mfano of course vitu kuhusu finance sector, kuna angel investors, upande wa uzalishaji, the quality production sio nzuri, watu ambao wako kwenye sekta wako kwenye the fastest, mostly chipukizi ambao wanaingia kwenye incubator zetu, so they're not that developed. Tukaangalia kwenye upande wa soko, kwa mfano filamu na muziki, most of their market ipo kwa kweli, internally na externally, lakini of course process inakuwa complicated na mambo ya copyright. How do we get that money? Na sasa hivi serikali inajaribu kusaidia wasanii wapate hakimiliki zao kutoka nje, kwa sababu hizi za ndani hazitoshi, especially in the time of COVID. So upande wa, for example, copyright, nimeshaongea kuhusu copyright, sera na kanuni. Upande wa uwezeshaji, capacity building, nimefurahi sana kwamba we now have more arts organizations, creative incubators na hubs ambazo zinatoa capacity building kama Unleash na Maarifa Hub. Before, at that time, tulikuwa tunasema sisi SIDA ndio tupo, na actually there are some donors ambayo wanataka hiyo data ambayo Alila umesema umefanya ku find out who else is out there ili waweze kuwasaidia. Now nilikuwa nataka ni share the creative value chain, kwa sababu tumeongea sana kuhusu wasanii, na ningependa angalau tuangalie changamoto ambazo zilipo kwenye mnyororo wa thamani ya ubunifu, ili baadaye tuweze kuangalia suluhisho ni nini. So nimeangalia upande wa creative uumbaji, and that is where hizi atamishi na hubs zipo kusaidia wasanii, lakini unakuta uwezeshaji ni mdogo, na eneo ya utafiti kwenye haya maeneo ni mdogo. So ukiingia kwenye upande wa production hapa sasa, unaona also, as I said earlier, quality sio nzuri ya bidhaa, na also process ya kuweka pricing, kama labda umetengeneza, labda let's say if you're in the fashion industry or the artisan, process ya kuweka pricing ili na wewe upate profit, what Halila ulikuwa naongelea, inakuwa shida. So in that area bado tuna changamoto along the creative value chain. Ukiangalia usambazaji, watu wachache, labda unakuta, if we talk about Instagram shops, upande wa digitali, watu wengi wamejikuta kwenye kutumia Instagram kuuza bidhaa zao, lakini unakuta kwamba the quality, the presentation kwamba sio nzuri. Wengine wanauza vitu kutoka China, but they're not marketing their own products. That if someone said, fine, tuna market for you in America, unakuta hakuna even the volume in which that is required of you to export. So even tukisema e-commerce, let's say tukiangalia the aspect of distribution, tukisema e-commerce, challenge ipo, is there enough volume to participate in an economy that requires volumes? through e-commerce. So opportunities zipo, lakini also our value chain is really nascent. So that is one of the challenges. And then unakuta, you know, this one, soko ya bidhaa ya Kiafrika kama nimesema ipo, like inakuwa, lakini as I had said earlier, the quality is not good, and it becomes a challenge to, you know, to sustain a vibrant creative economy within Tanzania. But before I also go to the solutions, I wanted to also look at the life of an artist. We looked at the creative value chain and seen the challenges ambazo zipo, ambazo inaonyesha kwamba the production, the creation, and the production, and the distribution, and the delivery platforms are still, you know, really amateur or really underdeveloped. Nilikuwa nataka niangalie also within the COVID-19 situation, what is the situation ya wasanii wa Tanzania? Na nasema hivi kwa sababu serikali ya Tanzania imesha sign, imesign recommendations mkataba wa UNESCO wa 2015, lakini kuna what they call recommendation for the status of the artist, na inatoa some guidelines on how serikali inaweza kusaidia wasanii ili waweze kukaa maisha mazuri. So nilichukua just one aspect of those recommendations, ambayo ni hali ya kufanya kazi na hali ya maisha ya wasanii. Na inaonyesha kwamba tukiangalia upande wa COVID sasa hivi, many artists wako kwenye hatari ya kupoteza their workspaces. Wengine kodi ya nyumba, you know, the landlord is saying, where is the money? Alafu wengine hawana bima, you know, yet tunajua kwamba serikali imeweka utaratibu wa watu kupata bima kwa bei nafuu. So that is the reality, kwamba opportunity ya kufanya kazi. Kwa mfano, juzi tulikuwa kwenye platform ya Resili Art, na wasanii wengine wamesema sasa sisi hatuna show tena, hatuna hela. So of course, mtu ambaye hana hela, definitely itakuwa shida upande wa, you know, rent, upande wa workspaces, na upande wa bima hawezi na, you know, because most of them unakuta labda amelipa bima ya yeye mwenyewe au hajalipa. So ukiangalia upande wa serikali, kwa sababu hiyo recommendation nasema serikali inapaswa kufanya this and this and this. Serikali hajaweka mfuko ambayo inaweza kusaidia watu. Tukiangalia nchi zingine kama Kenya, kama, you know, South Africa, wameweka hizo mfuko. And also kwenye upande wa development organizations, we don't see anyone in Tanzania ambayo wamekuja pamoja kusema tu wasaidie. Wengine kwenye nchi mbalimbali kama Uganda, DRC, ambayo wamefadhiliwa na shirika linaloitwa Africalia, angalau wamepata what we call a solidarity fund. So kwa kimaisha, this is the situation ya wasanii. Ki-industry, tumeona the weaknesses in that chain. And so nimewaza labda baada ya kuwa sisi kama SIDEA tumekuwa na what we call dialogues mbili. Ya kwanza ilikuwa inaitwa Resili Art Tanzania, alafu ya pili ilikuwa inaitwa Resili Art East Africa. So kwenye Resili Art Tanzania tulikuwa na wasanii wa Tanzania na representative kutoka serikali, na walitoa of course changamoto zao, and serikali ilika promise to do follow up on more discussions na asasi za sanaa. Lakini kwa Resili Art East Africa ilikuwa tofauti, kwa sababu ilikuwa more encouraging. Watu wakasema this is an opportunity to rethink and, you know, take on the digital space for innovation. So hapo mimi kwenye kutazama what is going on in the government space and what is going on in the creative space, mimi nina wazo kwamba ni wakati huu tufikirie kubadilisha mtindo wa kufanya biashara. Kwa sababu tayari tumeona sekta imeshakuwa na changamoto kabla ya COVID. Na we are talking about competing wakati tuko so nascent. We are really at the first stage. Tukiangalia the development stage of industry, tuna embryonic, tuna precursor, tuna mature, tuko chini sana, and we are trying to compete against each other wakati we are so small. So for me, wazo wangu ni kwamba we have to build a cooperative economy, baada ya kufanya an economy, especially now that COVID is hitting us, tuwe na an economy that promotes things like having a circles. Most creatives hawawezi na kupata, loan from a bank kwa sababu of their smallness and the capacity gaps ambaye Halila amesha mentioned. So for me, from the start, I'm proposing, let us have what we call a cooperative economy, creative economy, ambaye ita benefit from people with different resources, exchanging their resources, for example, for money. For example, you may have skills in film editing, baada ya kulipwa hela, kufanya hiyo kazi, unaweka your skills, and then afterwards we see how we can share the profit. But also forming circles whereby artists now can be able to get money so that they can improve their productivity or improve their distribution. Also, the idea of these SMEs startups is to form a network. Of course, tunajua kwenye upande wa BASATA, artists, they're organized. Lakini kama tunasema these are creative industries, then ni lazima zitambulike kwenye Tanzania Private Sector Organization, Foundation, for the purpose of capacity building and also for the purpose of advocacy from a private sector point of view. Ingine nilikuwa nasema ni kwamba ni vizuri tujenge, nimeshaongea kuhusu a cooperative economy, lakini ya tatu nasema ni vizuri kwa sababu tutakuwa na one umbrella of creatives talking together. We advocate for capacity building ambaye haitumii njia ya mradi, lakini we are doing an ecosystem support. Hapa nimeweka what the creative value chain looks like. Hapa chini nimeandika mnyororo wa thamani ya sekta ya ubunifu. So you have uzalishaji, this first part should have been kubuni, uzalishaji, usambazaji, taratibu za uwasilishaji, that is delivery agents, alafu at the end is the consumption. So up here, and not necessarily that it aligns to what is the bottom, are the support functions of hubs. For example, we need hubs being supported to support this whole value chain. We need expert technical support. We need circles. Initially here, I used to think about impact investment, but that's too big for the sector. We are not at the level to attract impact investors, but we can create a circles to support ours. And then sera na kanuni. Hatuwezi kufanya kazi bila kuangalia mazingira ambayo tunafanya kazi. So issues za KOSOTA ni lazima ziwekwe pale, because we are not just copyright industries, lakini also patenting, trademark, intellectual property, and of course utafiti. Hatuwezi kuendelea na hii kazi bila kufanya utafiti. Sasa hapa SIDEA tumeanzisha an online marketplace for fashion and accessories design. So for us, as an approach ya kusema tufanye kazi pamoja, tunatoa opportunity ya creatives in those sectors na sisi kufanya kazi pamoja, and then we split the profit, whereby the creative anapata 70% na sisi 30%, na kazi yetu itakuwa ku-market na to distribute these products in Tanzania, in East Africa, and across the world. Na, yeah, that is the reason nimesema hivi, but in terms of the creative value chain, ni lazima tutumie teknolojia kwenye all levels, from creation production, distribution, mpaka mteja atakapopata hiyo product. If it is film, of course, tunajua film. There are so many platforms sasa hivi ambazo zina distribute film hata hapa Tanzania. If it's music, you know, what are those platforms ambazo zina hapa? Even in our office, we have a representative of mudundo.com, ambayo it's a one revenue stream. So that is, there are opportunities ambazo zipo. Na tukirudi kwenye, and this is my last slide, kuhusu the social protection of the creative sector. I was thinking, kwa sababu serikali imehamia Dodoma, na tunajua majengo yamebaki bure, wengine of course some institutions ya serikali zimeshaingia pale. I was thinking, the sector, if we are united, tunaweza kuomba eneo. Just look at what we tech. They are talking about Silicon Da. What about creative Da? You know, creative Da is something that if we got Jengo ambayo creatives work on ndani pale, you know, these ones working on film, these ones working on fashion, and we're all in that space, all skills, you know, helping each other to build this cooperative creative economy. Nafikiri tunaweza kwenda mbele. And one of the other things I'm doing in my other worlds is to see how to make Dar es Salaam a creative capital of Africa. So if I'm advocating for such things out there, really on the ground, we should be made to, you know, be serious about coming together and making this economy work. Alafu ya mwisho, of course, if we are connected and through this, you know, network that is not, that is self-driven by industry, then tunaweza kwenda kwa serikali tuombe a reduced and subsidized, you know, bima kwa familia zetu, ili watu waweze kujikinga kwenye ugonjwa wa COVID-19. Asante sana, nimejitahidi. I hope it's clear. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Ayeta, asante sana. That was very, very clear. Na sio tu clear, lakini kama vile alivyofanya Khalila, mmefanya presentation zenu katika mtizamo wa changamoto, lakini pia mmetoa suluhisho, na siku zote hicho ndo cha msingi. Sasa in terms of maswali, kama utaniruhusu, mimi ninayo mawili. La kwanza, na najua nilipokusimamisha Khalila ulikuwa umefika kwenye financial literacy pale, nilikwambia kwamba nitakurudia kwenye hilo, sababu nilikuwa nataka kuangalia atakachokisema Ayeta, alafu tutaweka vipi nyie pamoja kwenye kwenda mbele. Kwa hiyo na imeungana mwishoni, kwa sababu ukiangalia kwenye changamoto na kitu unachotaka kukifanya wewe Khalila with the academy na huku what CDA are doing, unaona kabisa kuna uwiano mkubwa sana. Sasa labda ningeuliza, tunao unleashed academies wangapi, na tuna CDAA tunaungana vipi pamoja sasa kwenye hili? Kwa sababu mimi wasiwasi wangu, na labda pengine sitaki kuwa na wasiwasi kwa sababu labda tayari mnajua suluhisho liko wapi, lakini wasiwasi wangu ni kwamba tusije tukawa tuna watu ambao wanasema mimi niko kwenye Unleashed Academy, kwa hiyo sihusiani na CDAA, au wengine CDAA wakasema wewe hujaja kwetu, kwa hiyo kukusaidia ni ngumu. Sasa nyie wawili pamoja na wadau wengine ambao wanaiangalia hii sekta kama kwa lenzi hiyo hiyo ambayo mnaitumia nyinyi, mna mawasiliano ya aina gani? Mnakutanaga? Na kama mnakutana, mnakutana kwenye frequency ya aina gani? Na mnafanyaje kuhakikisha kwamba hamuingiliani au hamrudii kufanya kile ambacho kila mtu anakifanya? Ili ni joined up thinking ndo naitafuta kwa ile joined up thinking tunaipataje kati yenu nyie wawili pamoja na wadau wengine ambao hawako nasi kwenye hii Zoom, lakini nyie mnajua kwamba wapo. Ndio swali la.
Yani sana umeongelea duplication of efforts, manake na hilo ni jambo ambalo tumeliona even as Ayeta was speaking. Vitu vingi ambavyo wanavizungumzia unakuta vina cross cut. you find that, our passions are authentically deep within transforming the systemic issues within the sector. So unless most of the things that we're talking about is not cut across. So even as you're speaking, it's just seeing kwamba, hey, we need a lot more collaboration. We need a lot more collaboration. Kwa sababu duplication of effort ziko sana. And as long as we are all doing things in our little silos, there's no way we can move as a force. Haiwezi kutokea. So, nadhani mwaka huu, especially, I'd personally say, I've seen COVID bring us into a space where we're seeing umuhimu wa collaborate a lot more than it was. So even though we were seeing it, ni kwamba we were really, because kuna vitu vingi vya kufanya, there are just very, very many small things, and we're busy. We had not gotten to that point where we're saying, okay, now it's urgent, we have to sit and meet. Especially for, I think Ayeta, even though I've known about SIDEA for a very long time, during this COVID period is when I started, I'm like, hey, somebody connect me with this human being. I was like, yani nakumbuka that week we were doing a dialogue and I was calling everybody, even though I was connected to SIDEA, I was like, I need to talk to her. And that's what this thing did. And something else that we're doing, Unleashed Academy, tulianza mwanzo wa mwaka huu, tulianza a mapping of the ecosystem, kuangalia who is where and who is doing what. So we've got quite an extensive database so far, and we also have an extensive database from serikali kwa kuangalia kwamba kuna watu wengi pia wanaibuka from nowhere, starting associations in the art space. Wanaenda huko nje wanapata misaada, wakisema kwamba tunakuja hapa kusaidia, alafu kikweli hawasaidii. Hela tunajua zinarudi kule, lakini kurudi kwenye swali lako, what kind of solidarity do we have within the space, and where are we going in terms of collaboration? Nadhani this is where we are right now. I really feel like, COVID going forward, we're seeing that in building resilience, we need to start now. So I am pretty much convinced that this time going forward, we will have a lot more collaboration within the sector. I can say, in all honesty, I don't think it was necessarily, it was there in sporadically hapa na pale, but can I say that it was very intentional? Can I say that it had deliberate KPIs? Can I say that it was structured with a theory of change? Did it? I can say it was very. There was not a lot. It was not as tangible as it could be. But right now, I'm pretty sure that we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that happens at this point.
Excellent. Ayeta, anything to add on that before I go to the next question?
Yeah, I think, COVID has made us breathe, Some of us were working without even taking leave, so it was a good breather. Lakini, on the part of the research that Halida, you have done, it's good that you share it with me, because there's one development partner who was asking me, who are the people in Tanzania, because they don't know, they don't know who is here. And so it's good for us to share. It's good to also have joint programming. And for me, my theory of change now is that we need a cooperative creative economy. That is what I believe in. I don't think that the way the sector is, you can begin, for example, if we got a market out there in Europe for artisans, and they say we want this volume, and you're just going to one organization that is working with some women, you're not going to get the numbers, So there's need to even map all those people who are working in what, all those people who are working in field, how are they working together? Or it's just me, I want my name to be there. So I think we need to change the way we are working back to Jama.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, thank you, Ayeta and Halina, of course, for your early explanation. I think you both get it, that there is a massive need of that collaborative effort between your good selves and many others out there.
Henry, sorry, I was going to ask, do you mind if I just jump in there just to add just one second.
I don't mind at all. Go right ahead.
There's also a need for multi-sectoral partnerships. And that's something that we're aggressively pushing for. We got this thing where somebody would say, and mtu anaweza kusema wale mbona hawako kwenye sekta ya sanaa, kwa nini wanaongea sanaa? And people, unaweza kukuta people would come and tell me, mbona wale wanafanya kitu cha sanaa? And I'm like, why not them? We've been in a space where we've been isolated for so long, you know. So tunasema wale wanafanya finances wako kule, innovation wako pale, wale wako pale, and we're so isolated that we're not moving forward. We're in a time where even the collaborations is not just people within the art space. It's for us to be able to hold hackathons with people from other sectors to say, hey, this is where we are, we need help. Bring your expertise on board. How do we push this needle? We need to be able to look at it from different lens, right, across the board. So multi-sectoral partnerships is also very much key in this time.
No, thank you for mentioning that, because that's exactly where I was going with this. Because Babu, one of the things in one of the sessions we did at Launchpad and Marifa Hub, we were beginning to tease out, and we ran a few sessions because we have this thing that we're doing around with Ingenie in South Africa and all this innovation, etc., etc. And one of the things that we've done, it was to tease out from the youth that we've engaged with, how much value do we have, the cultural value in economic terms, you know, just translating that in economic terms of what it looks like. In South Africa, there's a study there, and it's absolutely massive, and the contribution to GDP is enormous. Now, sisi in Tanzania, we've not been quick, you know, sort of off the mark in terms of tapping into it. Where you think about, for example, Diamond Platnumz, and we all respect his art, and we know kwamba he's multinational and international, and he's huge. Like, what we tend to look at is the material wealth that he would have. So when we talk about him, you know, people would say how many houses he has, or the cars, or the jewelry, etc., etc. Like, we tend to miss the point. And the point is, what is the actual value of that industry by having such folks? And how can we increase them? Because that's the only way you increase capital. Sasa nataka kuja kwenye multi-sector. Tuongele the government input into this. Cut all the politics. Like, my understanding is, from what I hear and what I see, we have a minister, it is Mwakyembe, right? Who is responsible for this one. Am I right? Lakini inaweza ikawa kuna nyingi zinaingia huko ndani kwa sababu the youth, the ministries nyingi zitaingia huko ndani. Lakini he seems to be a person who's proactive, that they accept, you know, anaenda kwenye hizi shughuli, etc. Sasa, what part do you feel in terms of expanding and bringing this understanding at a national level, kwamba it might be informal at the moment, lakini ina potential ya contribute enormously to the GDP, with examples of areas where in the region, I'm not even talking the United States au huku whatever, lakini tukae tu hata hapo Africa, tuangalie namna ambavyo tunaweza tukainyanyua. Nyie mnaonaje? Is there any scope in that? Ani kwamba extend beyond just the CSO and the NGO and individuals into a national approach in it? What's your views on that? And je, mmeshawaengage watu wa wizara na vitu kama hivyo, and how are they responding like? Beyond BASATA. Yeah.
If you'd allow me, naomba nianze. I have to knock off in about 3 minutes. I've got a class I have to run to. So that is such an important question, right? And I'm glad you asked it. Yani kiukweli hayo mawazo ya kusema kwamba umesema au tubaki kwenye NGO or CSO, just to echo what Ayeta has been saying, we need to move more into formal, into, you know, having a corporate mindset, into having a business mindset. We need to move into enterprising kabisa. Hizo conversations za kwamba we're just NGOs and whatever ambazo zinahitaji kusaidiwa, yani hizo the things of the past, hatuzungumzi hizo, sio lugha zetu tena. At this point, for you know, is there avenue for, you know, for this sector to be able to, nadhani kitu ambacho unakiongelea tena, I'll go to value. Is it something that, you know, we feel that would be considered, or we can contend with as valuable enough for a government to really put a priority into and start looking at it as, you know, a viable contributor to socioeconomic growth, a viable contributor to GDP. So we need to look, so there's no one way to answer your question in terms of the how, because in njia ni nyingi sana, lakini it's definitely a yes, you know, and the things that could be done for that to happen, ndo hivi vitu tunavyoviongelea sasa hivi. For a sector to be able to contribute in that way, we need to be able to what's the word, to clarify what that value is. What are what do those KPIs look like? What should the government be looking at? How are we measuring growth? I mean, you talked about Diamond and how we measure, you know, how are we really measuring, you know, the value that the industry is generating in terms of, you know, just returns for the artist, in terms of, you know, taxes for the government, and so on and so forth. And some of the things that allow us to be able to know and to actually understand, even to be able to move the needle, you need to know where the needle is. So things like Ayeta was presenting, like statistics, research, really moving into right now understanding where we are, so that we can now but really create a roadmap into where we need to be. We start at really trying to understand where is the needle now. And to just answer your question in black and white, absolutely. I really feel like there is nowhere to go but up from where we are right now, in terms of how, you know, we could present the industry as something that could contribute viably to GDP, to socioeconomic growth, to development as a whole. So tunaiangalia kwamba, okay, we need to present it in a way that inaeleweka in terms of numbers. Tuache blah blah za juu kwa juu in terms of numbers. What do our numbers look like? Really, let's get down to the science of our arts, of our sector. Two, how are we presenting the artist wenyewe? How are we presenting the professionalism within the industry? If we're talking about formalizing, what do those steps look like? What do those numbers look like? What does that journey look like? What does that roadmap look like? These are conversations that need to be had. In terms of vitu kama tuviongelea, kuelewa ni watu wangapi wako kwenye hii sekta, na hawa watu wanazalisha nini kiukweli, wanaenda wapi, state yao ikoje, are they insured, are they paying taxes? I mean, those are questions that we need to answer. And I really feel to be able to get to that point that you're saying, for us to be considered as watu ambao kweli tunaweza ku contribute in that way, we need to be asking ourselves the right questions so that we can answer them rightly. In a nutshell, nadhani jinsi ya kujibu hili swali is there's a very wide span of solutions that we could get into, but I'm trying to answer very fast because I really have to knock off, and I'm sure Ayeta will also break it down quite a bit.
Absolutely. Thank you for that extensive response, Khalila. There is an appetite though for it. Yeah, there is an appetite to move in that direction.
Absolutely, there's no way to go but in that direction.
Excellent. That's what I needed to know. That's great stuff. You need to go, so I won't stop you. Thank you for your contribution today. This is recorded and it's webinar series. We made it very clear, so it's not one-off. We will tap into you at some point and bring you back in a certain format as we go through. So thank you for your contribution today, and have a great evening. Thank you very
much, Henry. Thank you, Carol, Lorenzo, Dr. Meku, Judith, Ayeta. It's been incredible. I will share all the research we've been doing. Have a very good night. Nashukuru sana. I apologize for having to knock off, but have a good night. Bye-bye.
You too. You get going. Can I invite? I'm conscious it's coming to past, but we have Lorenza and we have Judith. Have you got any questions for Ayeta?
No, I have nothing. I'm Judith. It has been a really good one, and I've captured a lot of tasks.
Excellent. Thank you, Judith. Lorenza?
He has, well, I think I don't know if it's a she or a he. I'm sorry.
She.
Aha. Okay. So they just say it was really nice. No more questions.
Oh, sorry. I hadn't seen that one. Okay. No more questions on that.
No more question from me, sorry.
Okay.
All right, great stuff, Lorenza. Thank you for showing up. Carol, yourself?
No,
Dr. Meku, sorry, I've left someone there. Dr. Meku, any questions from you?
No, no question, Henry. Thank you. The session was great. Nimejifunza mengi sana. Asante.
Asante kwa kufika. Have I left anyone? I think that's that. Carol, you didn't have any. So, okay. So it's just to do some thank you. Any last words, Ayeta, from you in terms of anything you wanted to probably share quickly before we close?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, I mean, I support what Halila said about formalizing the sector so that we become professional. And then, of course, when our businesses begin to grow, then we can approach banks. But one of the things that we need to get the banks to begin seeing is that the creative economy is an economy that can also benefit from development funding. I know of a bank in West Africa called a Fremex Bank that actually has a fund for recovery for creative economy. So those are things that I think the sector also in Tanzania should look out for if there are viable businesses beyond what we have been talking about, the startups that can tap into that. So that's what I just wanted to say. Yeah, and I thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this webinar, meeting colleagues, also meeting Lorenza, Henry as well. Thank you. Judith and Dr. Meku, thank you.
Hi, Ayeta.
Hi.
I hope to see you soon.
Okay, karibu sana. Yeah, thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Great stuff. Thank you, Ayeta, for that great, sum up. I think same way as I say to Halila, we will be tapping into your great wealth of knowledge that you have and the brilliant work that CDA is doing. This is not a one-off. This is very much the beginning of where we want to go, particularly with the cultural capital and how we can formalize a lot of these informal sectors, which is they are really not wasted, they're just not as appreciated as they could be, and we need to just raise awareness in a more clever ways. And I think this is pretty much putting those threads and start to tie them in and bringing it right back into full circle whenever we can. So watch this space. We'll be tapping into your as I've said, into your knowledge and wisdom. Usituchoke, tutaendelea kugonga mlango na kuomba uwe nasi pia katika missions zetu nyingine. Asante sana kwa kuwa nasi leo. Carol, naomba utufungie basi, alafu
nasema nini kingine sasa zaidi?
Unaona imetosheleza?
Imetosheleza sana. Nafikiri tumemaliza. Tunashukuru Ayeta. Thank you again. No, seriously. And of course, Halila, she just sent me a text. Kumbe, she's doing her MBA, maskini. So yeah, she was rushing to a class. But otherwise, thank you guys. Thank you for joining us. And for those who are watching this, the recorded version, we will have another session. We will announce the target group that we will be targeting, because in a webinar series, na huwa tunataka makundi tofauti. Kwa hiyo tutawaambia kundi linalofuatia litakuwa ni lipi na sekta ambayo tutakuwa tunaongelea ni itakuwa ni ipi. Lakini endelea kutufuatilia kwenye mitandao ya kijamii @launchpad.tz, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You also have Marifa Hub TZ on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Asante sana and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye everyone. Asanteni sana. Kwaherini, siku mwema.